Hello and welcome to Algebra 1, Chapter 2.5, and today we're going to extend our exploration of solving equations with adding a variable on each side. So the number one word of advice that I can give you is that you always are going to move your variables first. Okay, move your variables to the same side first. Obviously, we can't have a final answer that has an x on both sides because I'm trying to find out what x equals, and so if I have an x on both sides, it doesn't really work. By the way, that one doesn't have a solution. I have to get them on the same side, and so you want to move your variables before you move your constants. Your constants are just your numbers. Now, prior to moving your variables, you might have to first remove grouping symbols, and you might have to combine like terms. But when you get to the point where you're ready to move things around to the other side, move your variables first. Alright, so we're going to do the one on the left here. 8 plus 5s equals 7s minus 2. And so there's no like terms to combine, there's no parentheses to get rid of. I'm going to start moving things around, and I'm going to move my variable first. Up to you, you can move the 5s or the 7s, it doesn't matter. I'm going to move the 5s, so I'm going to subtract 5s. Okay, when you move something to the other side, you got to undo it from the side it's on. 5s minus 5s cancels. 8 equals 2s minus 2. Okay, and so since my s is on the right, I need my constant on the left. So I'm going to add 2 to the other side because that's going to get rid of that 2. I'm going to have 10 equals 2s. And to get s by itself, divide by 2. S equals 5. You know, I only went through that kind of quickly, but get your variable on one side, get your constant on the other. Get your variable by itself. To check this, you're going to plug 5 in for both s's. So you have 8 plus 5 times 5 equals 7 times 5 minus 2, which is going to be 8 plus 25 equals 35 minus 2, which is 33 equals 33. So then our answer is correct. I'm going to leave the second one. Why don't you tackle that one? We'll go over it in class to make sure how you did. Okay, so same thing here. We're going to look at the one on the left, and then I'm going to leave the one on the right for you. And so if I have a number right outside of parentheses, the first thing you need to consider is distributing. I want to distribute on both of them, and make sure you distribute to both terms inside the parentheses. So 1/3 times 18 is 6. 1/3 times 12 is 4. Q equals 12Q minus 42. Okay, so get rid of your parentheses first. Then I'm ready to move my variable. So you got to decide which variable do you want to move. You can either subtract 4Q from both sides or subtract 12Q. I'm going to subtract 4Q because I want a positive variable. So if I subtract 4Q from both sides, that cancels. 6 equals 8Q minus 42. So if my Q is on the right, I need my constant on the left. So we're going to add 42 to both sides. 48 equals 8Q. And our last step would be to divide by 8. Q equals 6. And so your check for this one, you're putting 6 in for both Q's, or if there was more than 2 Q's, you'd put it in for every Q. So 18 plus 12 times 6 equals 6 times 2 times 6 minus 7. I would strictly just follow your order of operations, and let's do parentheses. So this is 18 plus 72 equals 6 times 12 minus 7, which is 1/3 times 90 equals 6 times 5. 1/3 of 90 is 30, and 6 times 5 is 30. So we know we have the right answer. There are two special cases we're going to have. So no solution is when the result is false. Now, by false, we mean 2 equals 3. Notice there's no x. So your x's are going to totally cancel, and you get a false statement. Okay. The other one would be identity, which we're going to call all real numbers, and that's when you have a true statement. So a true statement is 2 equals 2. Again, notice there's no x in there. Okay. Our symbol for no solution is we're going to do 0 with a line through it, and our symbol for all real numbers is it's a double barred R. So we make two straights, but then finish your R in there. Okay. You do need to notice both results will not have an x in them, so there's no x's in there. Okay, so if there's x's totally cancel, you look at it and you just say, is it true or false, which is no solution or all real numbers. So let's look at an example. All right, we're going to do both of these. So first of all, I have a number right outside of the parentheses, so what do? I distribute, so we're going to distribute into the parentheses, which is going to give us 40c minus 16 equals 320 plus 40c. All right, so back at the beginning of this lesson when I said I suggest you move the variable first, this is why. So I'm going to move my variable. I'm going to subtract 40c from both sides. Those cancel. I get negative 16 equals 32. So I no longer have an x. Is that true or false? That is a false statement, so this answer is no solution. Great news about no solution is there's no check, because there's no solution to check. So you are done with that problem. Let's look at this other one here. Again, I'm going to distribute on both sides. So I'm going to have 4t plus 80 equals, a fifth of 20 is 4t plus 80. Okay, you can't say anything if you still have a t in there or an x. So I need to move my t. Those cancel. I get 80 equals 80. That's a true statement, so my solution is all real numbers. What that means is I can put in any number I want in for t, and that will give me a true statement. All right, that is what I have for you for 2-5. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a great day.